Hi, I'm Susan McConnell, your LinkedIn for the Reserved Champion. Thanks for joining us here Tuesday at noon. I do this conversation every Tuesday, and I ask different business owners to come on and visit with me because I like my community to learn more about how to improve their businesses and try to light up their lives with ways to improve so that we can all be fabulous today. And I have a LinkedIn tip. Please make sure that you fill out your profile from the top to the bottom because you are 40 times more likely to be found and searched on Google if you have it filled out appropriately. So do that. And if you have questions, you can message me. So today, my guest is Rich Banister from E.R.T.C. Assist. Rich has had a fun career. At 19, he started his first business in Madrid, Spain. He made leather things and selling in the historic street market in El Rastro. Hopefully I pronounced that one right, Rich. He's self-sufficient and fluent 5 months. He continued on in Lisbon and in Paris. He opened 5 retail stores in 30 years in 3 cities. And he designed 9 months ahead of season for fashion-forward accessories. He has residential investment properties in Philadelphia, and now he's focusing on helping U.S. businesses with employees recover from the effects of the pandemic. So welcome, Rich.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Glad to have you here today. So I'm so really curious about this. I've had other people on for different like tax credits and things, but this is a refund, and I had never heard of it until I met you. So tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, well, this particular refund is called the ERTC, which stands for Employment Retention Tax Credit. It's a program under the CARES Act of the federal government. It's designed to assist business owners who have continued to pay employees during the pandemic by refunding up to $26,000 per employee for taxes paid by the business. It is a tax refund, just like your personal income tax refund. You can spend it however you want to.
So that's interesting. It's an actual refund. It's not a credit.
It was called a credit because you can, if you don't want the money, you can apply it to next year's taxes. However, most of our clients would rather have cash in hand.
I would think so. That sounds like a good idea to me. So why don't a lot of businesses like myself know about this?
Because the CARES Act has been amended to allow businesses to access the PPP and the ERTC. Now, the PPP came out really early on in the pandemic. It's called the Paycheck Protection Plan. And it was very quick and easy to do, but it was a loan, sometimes forgivable. So a lot of in-house CPAs in a big firm or CPAs helping small businesses are unaware of the many changes that have happened. So originally it was either or. You couldn't do both. Okay.
Oh.
The PPP was easy and quick, even though it was a loan. So there are 3 main criteria, again, which people might not know about. Either a full lockdown, which people could kind of identify with, a partial lockdown, or a year-on-year decline in revenue measured by each quarter. So first quarter of 2020 compared to first quarter of 2019, for example.
Okay.
So any one of these can qualify. You don't need all 3. And again, a partial lockdown can be defined as only being allowed to have 50% capacity in your restaurant or your bar or your store, or any any business that had shortened hours of operation due to a curfew, or you got to stay at home. And for example, dentists not allowed to use high-speed drills because that would disturb the virus, or janitors not allowed to sweep up with brooms. So all kinds of different things that many people never heard of can qualify a business for applying.
Wow, that's very interesting. And so what do you do to find out if you qualify?
Well, we have a very simple intake form, 7 questions, and it's completely free, no obligation. So you just put in what the questions are. You get an answer in 24 hours, or if you do it on the weekend, it'll be 1 business day. And the form is at the website ERTC Assist.fund.
Okay. So why don't I just ask my CPA or my accountant to do this?
Good question. Well, as I mentioned, not everyone is aware, and even if you Google online, the information stays on the internet, but it's outdated, right? So Google might tell you, oh, you can't do both, right? But things have changed, and they've been changing a lot. So most CPAs we find are happy to refer their clients and even themselves to us because it's so complicated.
Oh,
And our team does nothing else, nothing but the
got it.
ERTC claims, okay? Another reason is that because it's quarter by quarter by quarter, most accountants look at your year of taxes, right? I mean, when you file personal income tax or business income tax, it's over the year. You don't have to say this quarter versus that quarter. Anyway, it's a lot more work, and we're streamlined, and that's all we do.
Got it. So your CPA is what you call a generalist, will handle your taxes throughout the year, whereas what you do is completely different in that you're looking at different quarters of.
And also, it's a one-time thing. Hopefully, a pandemic like this won't show up again, but most corporate tax accountants are used to a system, and there's no software for this. Each business is obviously different. Because it's not a cookie cutter application.
Okay. So you have experts and the CPA is sort of a general person. So it's better to do it through you because you'll be able to get them the maximum amount and look at it in a sort of scope picture. In my terms anyway, right? So you talked about it a little bit earlier, but I think I want to touch on it back again. So you talked about the PPP loan, which a lot of people are very familiar with, I think. And so just explain again how this is different, just so everybody understands.
So the Paycheck Protection Plan was a loan and in some instances forgivable. So the easier you want to maintain a credit for you to spend as you like. And even though someone has got the PPP, you can still apply for the ERTC, but of course, you're not allowed to double dip. You can't get twice the money for the same problem, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if you received 100,000 PPP in one quarter, and you continue to make payroll, and you paid 100,000 out of your own pocket, then you could claim for that 100,000 that came out of your pocket, but not the 100,000 from the PPP during that quarter.
Okay. So they should reach out to you for more help, I would think.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can sort this out. This is what we do. Right?
Which we will put Rich's information at the end. But I have another question too. What types of businesses have you guys been helping so far that you find are the ones that really should, obviously reach out to you today?
I've just got 10 examples here that I highlighted.
Perfect.
I mean, we've done 3,000 successful applications in 3 months, 90 days. So
great.
Again, a lot of people might not think of these as possible applicants because churches, synagogues, mosques, non-profit agencies, just because they're non-profit or religious doesn't mean there's nobody paid to help out in the organization. So even though there may be many volunteers, right?
Right.
Plus, it doesn't have to be 40-hour a week, full-time employees. It can be part-time workers. Our company asks for a minimum of 5 employees just because of the cost to do everything, at a minimum payroll of 100,000. So we had some restaurants that weren't paying very much to their part-time employees. And anyway, these are pretty basic things. But for example, a Catholic ministry, 249,000. Presbyterian Church, 423,000. Baptist Church, 590,000. Temple, 227,000. Another Baptist church for 580,000. So amusement park ride creator. You know, the what do you call those things? Those rides.
Amusement park.
You
The
know,
roller coaster?
yes, exactly. 636,000. You know, because they couldn't operate the park.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
2 location restaurant, 300,000. Now this is
Wow.
a jogs my memory because we've had people that have 5 fast food restaurants, you know, whatever the brand name is in your area, get 1.5 million. And even one company that had 4,000 employees, but it was broken down into 7 different legal entities. So because they were separate entities,
Each
again,
energy got his
they got
wow.
a non-profit thrift store, 76,000. Another non-profit, 89. A brew pub, which I approve of, 320,000. Anyway, so
So
it
that's
can
pretty
be
cool.
anybody and anything. You know, your local pizza joint, or a bigger firm, whoever you know.
Got it. So there's quite a wide variety of different places that can actually take advantage of this that I'm sure people don't understand. And I put some of them in the chat. So if you're here watching this and you know of an organization that may benefit, have them reach out to Rich. Like, let's all help each other. Like, we've all been through
Absolutely.
this crazy time over the last couple of years. And it's great that we all can be here to help each other. And that's why I love having, people like you on, Rich. Um, so we have all these great refunds. How long does the process take?
Okay, well, we talked about CPAs. If you do get your CPA to help you gather the documents, because there are quite a few documents that have to be submitted. This is part of the process and but it can go quite quickly. Once we have the documents and they've been verified, we can submit in about 5 weeks.
Okay.
The IRS will send a check back to you or the business in about 7 to 11 months. Now, if you want your refund in your hands in 4 weeks, we have a funding option and you can put your money to work or to play.
Oh, well, that's cool. I didn't realize you guys had an extra service there, a funding option. That's very good to know. Now, does that make you different? That makes you guys a little bit different, I would imagine.
Well, as far as we know, there are only 2 other companies that do that, but our limit is only 100,000, whereas one of the other ones does it for anything over 1 million, and the other one over 250. Anyway, so we offer that because some people really need it, and it's an option where you don't have to wait for almost a year to get your tax money back again.
That's great. That's a great option to know. And so we talked about the complication. Is it complicated? It must be complicated maybe to grab some of the paperwork, but maybe not complicated
Well, it's not.
to.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
It's okay. It's usually me. So no worries, Rich. It's not complicated for them to just to apply once they have their info.
Exactly.
Okay.
Once we verified, we check with the IRS before we even submit to make sure things are kosher, things are on the up and up. And what part of our service is we guarantee it's audit proof. So you don't want to go to somebody that's going to kind of, oh yeah, we'll be able to get you this much. We do all the pinpoint detail before we tell you exactly to the penny. This is what it is,
Right.
because we've done the research and the checking.
That's very cool. So why should companies take advantage of this through your company, Rich?
Well, I was thinking about that, and I came up with the first reason is because I'm here. I'm here. You can text, call on my cell phone, email, message me on LinkedIn. I offer my personal attention throughout. So it's not just going to be somebody that passes you off. And people can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm here to help. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I started. I was excited about this because you mentioned my 3 different 30-year retail operations that ran concurrently.
Yes.
So the last one I had to close, partly because of the crash throughout the U.S. And the mortgage crisis in 2008, 2009. But also the main street, I had a really fantastic location, was closed for 6 months. So it's a permanent lockdown. so I can identify with people that have had a hard time keeping businesses going during the pandemic. So second, as we talked about, because we're a team of experienced specialists and 3,000 submissions in 3 months. And another angle is that I'm offering $500 for every business friend or nonprofit agency or church, temple, mosque, that you refer.
Great. And I'm going to put that in the chat if I can figure out how to get off one screen to another. I don't know what's going on here. Me and my technology, right? That's an awesome offer, Rich. And I hope people, again, if you're listening to this live, great. If you see us on replay, take a listen and help out your friends, help out your businesses, help out the people, like go local, right?
Entrepreneurial business side of things. But I realize on LinkedIn, there's a lot of professional career people in corporate, and that was never my life. But if you are, people that run restaurants or have businesses of some kind, or you go to church or whichever place of worship. So you can actually take the $500 that I'm going to send you and give it to that organization.
Right.
Or go on holiday. I mean, it's just something I thought of to kind of just share the love.
Right. That's a great thing. It's a great way to do. And that business, again, like some of those results that you told us earlier, those businesses could reap some really nice rewards, and we all deserve a little break here.
Absolutely. And this is taxes the business have paid. It's not like welfare handouts from the government. The businesses have paid these in payroll taxes. The government has decided that they want the economy to keep ticking because small businesses are still the bulk. I mean, we have the huge international conglomerates and the giants, but the world doesn't only work with just them running the show. It's the little people that keep things going.
Yes, it is. So I'm assuming this, but must be what led you to become a tax refund consultant. Am I correct?
Yes, exactly. It's all part and parcel of the whole thing. It's part of who I am.
Yeah, no, and it's a great service. It's hopefully more people will know about it. When maybe I forgot to ask you, this ends at some point.
Yes, 3 years max, 2 years, just because you can only go back so far in claiming things on taxes. So the best thing is to get things going sooner than later.
I think so.
Because you never know. The world is not a certain place.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the truth. That's why I kind of wanted to get that out there. And so this has been awesome, Rich. I thank you so much for coming on and telling my audience about ways to find money that they may not know they have or can get a hold of. And it's a great service. And so I put all your information in the chat. I'm going to put your offer in the chat as well. And tell everybody about it, and tell your friends, tell your families, and let's help everybody get some refunds back.
That would be great. Thank you, Susan.
Rich, thank you for being here today. And for everyone who's here with us, thank you. Make sure to join me every Tuesday at 12 for Dangerous Conversations to help you and your business move forward. Have a great rest of your day and be fabulous today. Bye, everybody.